to Dropping Diamonds, where we dive headfirst into the world of softball. Today, I'm joined by somebody that knows what it takes to make it to the top level. She's been in the World Series 3 times. She is coming out of Texas, and she is outfielder for the AUSL Bandits. It is the one and the only Bella Dayton. Thanks for joining me.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Well, when I start this podcast, I always have to start off strong. So I start off with affirmation or a quote to kind of lead us into things. And so because I don't know too many people who have been to the World Series 3 times. I mean, like, obviously, unless you went to Oklahoma, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So we're going to talk about some consistency. Since the quote is, consistency is what transforms average to excellence. And so an affirmation I like to bring from that would probably be, I am what I repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Do you like it?
I like it.
Do you love it, Bella?
Yes, because I've never heard it before.
Nice.
That's a point.
Do you have a quote that you like to live by or that you kind of go back to?
Honestly, I don't. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I could think of one in the moment, but no, I don't have one.
Okay. I love that. Do you have a motto? Do you tell yourself anything you said on the field?
My dad growing up always said perseverance. I grew up with 4 brothers, so there was always things happening, good or bad, and I think he was ever that crazy softball dad. He was the more supportive type and kind of just watched. So like if things went wrong, it wasn't a yelling match. It was more of like persevere through, what you're going through. Like it's not going to stay the way it is for long. So that was kind of a motto. I put it in my glove. I put it in a glove that I had put together, and I wasn't going to use it, but here we are. I'm using it today, so it's cool.
Persevere. Things don't stay like this for long.
Just perseverance.
Perseverance.
But yeah.
Perseverance. What can you think of a moment that you really had to persevere?
I always go back to the transfer portal. I know there's so many people in it today, and when I was in it, I don't think it was, as big, or there wasn't as many people, but I would say that was probably one of the toughest experiences that I've been put through.
Really?
Yeah.
You transferred from Arizona?
Yeah.
Why was it so tough? What made it so hard?
It was mid-year. I think that was the last year that you were able to be mid-year unless you were a senior. I don't know how the rules changed, but it was just tough having to decide in short notice. Like I probably decided within a week, and not being able to travel. It was still COVID kind of, and not being able to travel again with that short time span. So it was more of like Zoom meetings and like 3D campus views and stuff like that. And I was able to go to Texas and visit there just because it was so close to home. So that was a plus. But other than that, trying to figure out, I feel like there was a lot of things that I was looking at young that I wasn't looking at the right things. And so again, in that short amount of time, trying to pinpoint all the right things that I was looking for in the portal, I think that was the hardest thing, and hoping that, it would be successful in the end.
What were the things that you were looking for?
Just better education. Obviously, it was at a point where you didn't know if softball was going to be where it is today, which is a great opportunity. So you have to look at the educational aspects and know that like you still need to find something you're passionate about in, the job field, and know that, you still have to go that route. So that was like top one. When I was first looking at schools, that wasn't something I was looking at. I was looking at like the atmosphere and the softball world, and education was education to me. Like it wasn't, something, top of the line important. But when I was in the portal, that was like one thing that I was really looking at. And then closer to home, I'm very family oriented. So being at Arizona, that was like 14 hours for me. So like
driving?
In the portal, yeah, driving. That drive was, was something. So in the portal, getting all the calls from like further away schools, I was just like, that's an automatic no, even though it may have sounded nice in the moment. It was just like a no for me, like stay on track of like what you really want. So again, I was lucky to have the close schools that I had to visit.
And that's the reason why you wanted to transfer in the first place? Like, you weren't getting what you felt like you needed?
Not even that. I think it was just atmosphere. Like you go there on your visit, and your visit's like what?
Right. You see the best
2 days,
things,
and you're like, I would love this. And then you live there for a year, and it's like, there's things that are lacking. Obviously, it's very hard for freshmen in general, to be away from home because you live there 18 years of your life and you're around your family and then you're all by yourself. So I had to kind of take away that aspect and understand, like, is this atmosphere right for me? Is this somewhere I would see myself living for 4 years? And it just wasn't that. And also I felt like my ability to play the game would be shown off a little better somewhere else. And so I based it off of like how I could promote my game a lot better personally. And then, again, atmosphere was just not for me.
I'm going to talking to Skylar because, there's so much conversation about the transfer portal and everybody has an opinion on it. And having the conversation with Skylar, her transferring from Alabama to Florida and it being like the best decision ever and her really being able to step into her own and become the player that she wanted to be. I didn't transfer, but I was always pro transfer portal because I knew I had teammates and I had friends that fell out of love with the game at a certain place. And was like, listen, I just want to fall in love with softball again. And when you think of people that have all these different opinions, what do you say to that? Because to me, I'm like, listen, let people go where they're going to thrive.
Yeah, today the opinions could be better because now you could say, oh, it's based off of money. It's based off of, these contracts that, again, like people are being able to get paid today, based off of like maybe how good they are or just like what they can represent a brand as. But I think when it comes down to like, again, the atmosphere and wanting to love the game and stuff like that, there's a lot of people with the opinions are people that I find have never been involved in the sport, have never played the game of softball. Maybe they played other sports and maybe the transfer portal wasn't, a thing, or maybe they didn't feel, that they didn't belong in that position to have to transfer. But I think it definitely makes a big difference to know your worth, where you belong, and how much better it makes you as an athlete and just as a person. Like, I could tell you I was two different people when I was at Arizona and then when I went to Texas. So like, I don't give in to the opinions of others and what they think when it comes to stuff like that. There's a lot of people that they're like, you were at a different school before Texas. I'm like, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But honestly, I didn't even know Skylar. Like, I had just came to the realization that she was at Alabama before Florida, like the other day. So
it's like quite a few people, and like they transfer and have immense success as soon as you do.
Yeah, you just don't realize.
You like embody that school. Yeah. When you say you were two different people, how so?
I think one, I was young, so I was still trying to figure out my life and kind of the person that I was becoming. I don't think that I was very social. I'm just a person that sits back, listens to the people around me. But I don't feel like I was able to make my personality known. And I felt like, the growing path maybe for the team at the time was kind of like, they won. Arizona won in the past. Candrea was such an amazing coach, and I actually had the privilege to be with him with the Italian team last season. So I've always loved him and his philosophy and stuff like that. But I think when it comes down to relationships in the game, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and so I felt more to myself. I had amazing roommates, and they made my personality come out, but I think with everybody else, I was just closed off into myself and didn't really put myself out there. So when I transferred, I think that was one thing that I told myself was like, be a part of where you are and where your feet are, and be yourself, because what's not to love about being who you are? And so I think that also made me the athlete that I was at Texas, and kind of put me away at Arizona. Was just me personally not doing the things that I loved or putting myself out there.
So you feel like in Texas, you really stepped into your own and made the decision that I'm going to be Bella, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Was that like a hard thing to step into, or did it become easier once you left?
It became easier because I started talking to more people and meeting so many different personalities. I mean, when you go to Austin, if you've never been to Austin, there's so many things to do. There's so many different people. You could probably find any person like...
You can find your crowd.
Yeah. And there's just so many things to do. So you find maybe more hobbies that you love. And I think that, you know, as much as you do play softball every day and your schedule becomes same thing, different day, I was able to be with people who maybe had the same hobbies, but we would take full advantage of our off days. We'd be together. Obviously, you're with your softball team every day, all day. So like being able to grasp onto those hobbies outside of the field, I think made the environment so much better. Whenever you're with a softball oriented team that's just softball, 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 you feel like you're almost trapped in this softball bubble, and like taking a breath outside of it is almost like, I guess, illegal. Like you're kind of like, is this wrong? So at Texas, I feel like it was more relaxed in that sense, to where like you're at the field, it's serious, like that's business. You put in your extra work. Personally, and then when you have that off time, do the things that you love with the people that you love. And I think that my teammates opened that up for me, and they also did those things, so it was like easier to do.
How important do you think that is just for like the mental aspect of the game, being able to step out of softball from time to time to really have an identity outside of just being able to play ball?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think at Arizona, I was more of like I struck out once and it was like the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I going to play again? Like, was that the deciding factor of whether I played the next game? Or like when it happened, I was like, I have 2 more at bats, but I still feel hooked on that one strikeout. And so I don't feel like ever got out of that headspace there. So being able to, you know, step away from the game and hook onto those hobbies and stuff like that, I think, or even religiously, I found myself too, like devoting myself to things, but also like letting things go and letting them be the way they are. I think that makes you mentally stronger. And again, finding those teammates that do have the same beliefs and same, you know, headspace as you. It's easier to speak it. I also journaled a lot when I went to Texas. So as weird as it sounds, I like talked to myself, but in a journal. So like whether it was good or bad that day, I wrote it down. And like when I woke up the next morning, it was like a new slate. So like whatever I wrote down was released, it was let go. So it was like, you don't get to think about it anymore. Like you talk to yourself, you told yourself what you need to do, what needs to be better, or hey, what was great that day that you want to consistently keep doing. And so the next morning it was like a sense of relief to know that, hey, I let those things go, or hey, I'm holding on to the right things. So I normally tell a lot of my younger clients, like hitting wise, they're, as much as it is hitting, they also come to me for a lot of mental stuff. And that's the one thing that I tell them. I'm like, start writing or journaling. I'm like, it's not a diary. It's like nobody has to read it but you, but like it's a great thing. It's a great aspect.
Journaling is so powerful in so many different ways, whether it is releasing emotion or releasing thoughts to even like developing creativity. I journal a lot just for different ideas. Was there ever a moment when you were journaling that it took you more than just one day to release?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. I mean, if I had a journal like 5 pages, okay, sure.
Maybe a longer one.
I think it would just be like, you have the time. If you don't have the time, make the time to journal. Don't make an excuse as a like, oh, I need to go to bed at 9:30. It's 9:25. Like you can journal within those 5 minutes, even if it is half the time. But like, I mean, I always sat there. I don't think there was ever a moment where I wrote down and I didn't feel like I finished the next day. Like I always made sure that, that all my thoughts were written down.
For someone that's just starting, how do you start that sentence, right? If you're journaling for the first time, it feels uncomfortable, it feels different. If I'm beginning to write it out, how do you start? I'm like, oh, hey, Bella, today sucked. Like, how do you begin?
Honestly, sometimes, yes. Like, on my hard days, I'm like, did that really happen? Or, like, just, like, situations that I didn't like. It's like, you didn't like that situation, but you could have gone about it this way. Or you could have thought this way to make yourself feel better in the moment. I know that there are times where you react out of feelings and you don't take a minute to just think about what the situation is. So I think in those bad times, it's more of like situation based. What I'm writing is literally exactly how I feel.
Like whatever is in your thought, you just let it
literally
flow
what
out.
Yeah.
How do you, like, when you end it, to know that you've gotten everything out? Is it a feeling to know, okay, well that's it, like I feel better? You know, how do you know when to stop?
Yeah, I think that once I get all my thoughts out, it's more of like, again, like I get all my bad thoughts out. I end it in a way of like, how could you be better? Or like, how could this situation have gone a different way? Or like, again, there's a lot of things like give your 100%. If your 100% is 75% that day, like you can tell people that. Not everybody's gonna have the same 100%. Maybe writing that down as like, today wasn't fully 100%, it was 60%. So how can you find that 40% tomorrow to make it 100%? And then affirmations. I think a lot of people, they love affirmations, but maybe they don't think about them strongly enough, or like they don't do them consistently. But I think that also being positive at the end of like your bad journaling is what gives you that sense of relief the next day. Is, you know, what are you capable of? Like, who are you as a person and an athlete? So that's how I know that's pretty much the end of my journal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You finish it, like you say all the negative things you want to say, but then you finish it with, but this is how I'm gonna be better. You finish it with the positive, so you don't know. I feel like that makes sense now, to be able to go to in the next day positively, because you now set your intention on that. Yeah. But I love, you dropped first diamond alert. You talk about you don't know quotes or affirmations. You're good, Bella. She's sneaky. Yeah, he's talking about you're 100%. If all you had was 60% and you gave 60%, you gave 100%. I love that. Going out every day with what you got in your tank and giving that in your tank. Well, choosing between the schools, you chose Texas. You're closer to home.
I did.
Everything's bigger in Texas. So they say. I don't know. Is it true?
What? Everything's bigger.
Yeah. Is it true?
I guess.
You're born in Texas. Are you like supposed to adamantly be like, yes, absolutely?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I feel like everyone I've ever met from Texas was like, no, Texas is the best place on earth.
It is great. I mean,
Okay. I do like the barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin has a good place, but I think every city that you go to has a different vibe.
Okay.
So like Houston has its own personality.
Yeah.
Austin does too, but like Dallas has it's own area compared to Austin and Houston. Yeah.
You can't compare. What's the best city in Texas?
That's a good question. I've honestly never been able to be out and about in Dallas as much as I feel like I'd want to. There's very artistic districts and a lot of things that you can go do. Austin just because I've been able to be out there more and see the city in college. I do love Austin. Sometimes the people creep me out.
Oh,
you know.
Okay, that wasn't where I thought it was going. I thought we were ending with just like, and sometimes the people.
But I love my hometown and being close to Dallas. It's great. I love it.
Texas is one of the states where softball is king. I feel like Texas, Florida, California, Georgia, Arizona. But I think big three is definitely probably Texas, Florida, and California. being the triple threat that you are, the dynamic player that you are, were you always able to do all three? Bunt, slap, hit? When did you really develop those tools?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of slapping. I was always a hitter. Slapping did come at a younger age, developing it. I played for a guy named Jason Gwynn. He now is a college coach, but like his development factor in him just as a coach, he always wanted to see people succeed as a player and as a person. Like he was just one of those coaches that you wish you could play for the rest of your life. So him just being able to play under him and his development, I think that helped me a lot in my slapping era. But I mean, I grew up in Texas and then I started to play for a California team because I felt like recruiting at that time was better out there. The teams were better, the competition was. And I also had a cousin that played out there. So basically in the summers, I'd go stay with her and play on her team. And again, at that time you could commit in like the 7th grade. So,
Yeah.
so it was also like a priority to be recruited. I then was only a slapper. And then at Arizona, it was kind of like a mix of both. I think I slapped a lot. Just because we had Caitlin Lowe as a slapping coach. It was like,
Right. One of the best
why
to do
not?
it. Yeah.
And then when I transferred to Texas, I went strictly hitting. So over time, it was like, yes, I did all three, I think situationally, but when I transferred to Texas, it was only hitting because I think mentally, like doing all three was kind of chaotic for me and choosing things in, a short time span. So it was only hitting. Then it was like, okay, maybe if hitting's not working, try your slap. And then it was like, okay, now I can be able to look at the situation and know exactly what I need to do. I think it's more of a development thing and being comfortable and doing all three. But yeah, it kind of always went back and forth from hitting and slapping, but the bunt was always there.
Right.
If nothing worked,
If you're
was always
fast, learn how to butt. If you're quick, get that butt down. What do you like to do the most?
I do like to bunt.
Yeah.
I do like to bunt. People are like, do you hit home runs? I'm like, no, I bunt.
But you have power.
I do. It's
Yeah.
sneaky. I do like how my swing has developed over time, being able to be under Steve Singleton, and just seeing how his mind works as someone who was always in baseball. I grew up around the game of baseball, so it kind of came easier to me. But like, I mean, my swing could have changed like 5 times over the span of my career. But
for sure.
where it is today, I mean, it's amazing to see the development that it has, but also being comfortable with it. Right now I'm slapping a lot, but I still have the hitting aspect in the back pocket. So even with the coaches, with the Bandits, like hearing their philosophies and how they think and just the different coaching styles they have is also really cool to see when you've been under the same coaching staff for 3-4 years in college. So it's cool.
What would you say is probably like the newest perspective you've learned from playing AUSL?
Like hitting wise?
Yeah,
or
hitting,
in
fielding.
general?
Yeah.
I think knowing one of our coaches, Courtney, she talked about how your body style is, and I'm trying to think of terrestrial and aerial. I think a couple colleges use it, but I'm not really sure. I've never heard it before. So she talked about just like, are you someone who is quick or someone who is like, uses gravity a lot? Like, are you in your toes? Are you in your heels and stuff like that? And so I think just like how I was swinging was not the swing type for my body. And like
Interesting.
understanding that and like how she explained it was just like mind blowing to me. Like so I switched my swing a little bit to like what my body would technically be used as, because I'm fast and twitchy and
Like fast twitch muscles.
and so I feel like I push out of my body more and out of my legs, and so like being set up the way I was wouldn't technically make sense for my body style. And so like being able to switch that and see what would actually make more sense, it works.
And it worked.
It works.
The change.
I can say
She's
it
a
works.
testament to this
And I
working.
think it's just crazy. Like, you don't hear that like your whole softball career, and then
I've never heard
people
that before in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, some
So,
people use it, some people don't.
Some of your, when you first said, I thought like extraterrestrial. So I was like,
No, aerial. So aerial and terrestrial.
okay.
When I looked it up, I read a lot on pitchers,
Okay.
like maybe baseball pitchers use that for their mechanics and kind of like how they load and do they load into the ground and stuff like that. But there's also a hitting aspect that I didn't know about. So it was cool to hear her philosophy and kind of how she teaches that and how it makes sense. And it does.
And so because you're quick, are you more aerial?
I think I am aerial.
Okay.
Terrestrial is more grounded, like your weight is driven into the ground, like you're just gravity, just like you're there. It's not me.
Yeah. You're moving. You're on the go.
That also might be a slapping aspect, who knows?
Right.
But yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I want to look more into that. Aerial, terrestrial, not to be mistaken for extraterrestrial, but maybe because you
I
are
saw
out
your
of
face,
this
I was
world.
like, do
Yeah.
you not like
I was like, you know what? I'm starting telling people, guys, I'm terrestrial. A little extra because I'm out of this world. That's actually a really good pickup line, no? I mean, in the baseball, softball community. You have to use it with one of us, but hey.
Right.
All right. We're going out to Texas, being a triple threat, not only up at the plate, but at the World Series. That's very hard to do. Going to the World Series once is very hard. Going thrice, 3 times, is even more hard. When we talked about consistency and perseverance, it takes a lot of perseverance to get to a Super Regional, get to a World Series, but then 2022 to be in the championship series. What would you say, as someone that's done 3 times, it takes to make to the World Series?
I think it's like one team and one goal. Like, it really sucks, and you can see like the dynamic shift when there's literally one person not bought into the goal. And so like always making sure that everybody is on the same page. Like even when we went to 2022 like champ series, it was always like hard, I think, on the like outside to be as one, like outside of the field. But we knew that when we showed up to the field every day, like we knew what we were there for. We knew what the goal was. And I think that we always reminded each other of it, even when things weren't going the way they should, maybe within each other. And I think that, again, we showed up and we knew the goal. So like, whether you had, a problem with somebody else, like at the end of the day, you were going to support that person no matter what on the field. And I think that, if it were the other way around, that maybe we wouldn't have made it as far as we did. But again, one team, one goal. Even in 2024, when we went to last year, when we went to the Champ Series, it was the same thing. Like we came up with a motto and there was bullet points. It was win from within, and it was like bullet points to make sure that you're connecting with the people around you, even if you don't hang out with them outside the field. It was like compliment somebody or ask somebody how they're doing. Cause like there's a lot of, you don't know what people go through, every day personally. And it's just like, you don't want to show up and feel that energy that someone doesn't belong or someone, is going through something that you don't know about, but to at least remind them that you're there for them, I think changes their aspect and their attitude throughout the day. And maybe to know that, hey, it's comfortable for them to speak out on, what they are going through, whether it is athletically or personally. And academics at Texas are so hard. Like you hear your teammates going through maybe the hardest majors on campus, and it's like they are studying all hours of the night and they have to wake up and play a game the next day. So it's just like knowing that you have all these resources, including your teammates, I think was one of the biggest things that we tied into, but also trying to play freely. Obviously it gets, more crazy as time goes on. Like super regionals last year against Texas A&M was probably the hardest series I've ever played in my life. The emotions were crazy. It just goes back to like that matchup should have been somewhere else other than super regionals, in my
Right.
opinion, because of the competition that it was. But the fight that we had just showed how capable we were of getting as far as we did. And again, reminding each other, like, even in those times that maybe a pitcher didn't succeed or you didn't succeed in a situation, like, you had your players or your teammates had your back. But again, if there was relationships or at least one person wasn't bought in, then it could have been a whole different type of situation. And that goes for the coaching staff too. Like, they were always bought into what we wanted to do and like what our goals were. And they always made, the sacrifice or the intention to be in that same goal with us and trying to make maybe situations or team bonding or something related to such so that we could always be reminded, like, hey, this is our goal and we're bought in 100%. So it was a nice feeling to have that too.
Did the goals change, like, as like each new level you hit, or was it always just one goal?
I think the goal always is to go to the World Series for
Right.
everybody. It's just like that can't be the one goal. Like,
In the moment, like regionals,
right,
you can't
that's
be
like the
World
long-term
Series.
goal.
Exactly.
You can't have that in preseason when you're
Yeah.
just starting. So I think that those little goals, like maybe a sweep or, we go to preseason game, like you have a top 20 matchup or a top 10. It's like those matter so much, and scoring runs matters so much. Like with RPI and all those different types of rankings, you never know what's going to happen when, postseason comes and you're getting matched up with regionals and super regionals. At this point, you never
literally
know.
don't know. Yeah.
You literally do not know. And so
Surprise,
I think it was like
that's how I feel every year.
I think it was winning within ourselves. Like, this is our game, so we're gonna win each game individually. And if we take the series, then we took the series. But we can't think of the World Series when you're in game one. So like once we got closer, like it got more, exciting to know, like, hey, you're still so very capable and you're so close. Like, yes, that's the end goal, but let's focus on right now and like where we are and what we have to do as our job to get it done.
Is there anything like Mike White ever said to you guys that kind of put a fire under you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Bella, I love talking to you. Your favorite quote? No. Anything inspirational? No.
One thing that always cracked me up is he always tried to throw BP to us and strike us out. And as mad as I was, his ball moved so much.
Yeah.
And it still cracks me up to this day. Like, I mean, that was literally his goal. Like, he would be so excited
to strike
you out. And I'm like, okay, I accept.
Did he get you a lot?
Potentially.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it. I'm just like, well, the guys that pitch, I mean, at LSU,
it's crazy.
Coach Trino would always have like the male softball players that pitch to us. And it was just different. Like,
even when I played in Mexico, our BP thrower, he was a male softball, fast pitch, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure where it's going.
Yeah. Hey,
but thank you.
I'm going to try and touch it. Thank you for today. I got better today. I always left. Oh my God. What a day was that? I could have just sat on the tee. That was terrible. Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah.
For future.
Literally, swing now. Okay, got it. You have 3 brothers?
4.
4 brothers. Where are you in the order?
I'm 4 of 5.
Okay. So you just have 1 younger brother?
1 younger, yes.
Wow. And then you played every sport known to man growing up.
I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lacrosse, basketball, track, volleyball. Am I missing one? Soccer. How did you land on softball?
I grew up playing soccer and softball. I did try to play both, like travel ball, and it was just hard to do. I think it got to a point where I had to choose one. But I had a lot of uncles, like growing up, that played baseball and played in the league, and one of them, he actually was a college coach out in California. And so, like, every year we made the road trip to California to go to his baseball camp. So I think that, and my oldest brother, he played baseball, so I always sat at his travel ball tournaments when I could. And I mean, all my brothers tried to play, you know, Little League at least once. And so watching them, I think being able to watch my oldest brother play, that was kind of like an easy decision. We were always at the ballpark anyway, so like, why not? Soccer was just, you know, a fun sport to play, but running 7 miles a game is just not.
I know.
It's
Soccer,
not for me.
honestly, was my other. I mean, I tried everything, but if it was like the two of them that stuck out the longest. And we were like, what happened with softball? Why softball? I'm like, I honestly don't remember the day that like I stopped playing soccer. I just kept.
I don't either.
Yeah,
It just
I
happened.
I literally, like, I don't remember because I love both, but I think it's because softball was so year round.
Yeah.
That like I just never had opportunity to stop, and it just
Right.
kept going.
Yeah, I that makes more sense. Like it never did actually end.
Yeah, we just kept. I mean, we had like Christmas break and Thanksgiving break.
Yeah,
and that
like
was
2
it.
weeks in between August and
Yeah,
September.
and then we're back on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I think I just didn't have a choice. I'm glad it all worked out how it's supposed to work out. Would you say, I'm always curious, like the things at different universities, what was like the big thing at Texas? I know you guys have like the horns up and stuff. LSU. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just know that's like not what I'm supposed to do, right? That's we never played Texas.
That was so
Well, I was
casual.
at LSU. So I don't know. No, I don't, no disrespect. No disrespect.
Dang.
Didn't mean to. Or like your favorite cheer. What was y'all's favorite cheer? Didn't have one,
It was
no.
always different. Like in 2022, I literally remember it at Washington in our regional. They started saying ain't no party like a Texas party. And I think that regional was also very chaotic because one, how was that a regional? Texas to Washington, that's not very regional. But when we traveled there, we had one and then we lost. So we had to play the third game. And so like there was just so many different things happening in all 3 games against Washington. And so like we always had the people that came up with the best cheers. It was not me. But I did buy in.
I definitely
It
thought
was
it was
just
you.
not me.
I thought it was you, Bella.
Don't lie. But they were just so good in the moment of like coming up with the most random things that made sense. But that one just stuck in my head because it was such a crazy, energetic regional for us.
So like, ain't no party like a Texas party because a Texas party don't stop.
See, that was better,
that
but
it?
we didn't say that.
Oh, okay. What did you
That was
guys
good.
say?
That was good though.
What did you guys say?
That was it. Ain't no party like a Texas party. And then you would cheer and say,
Oh.
and it would just keep gradually getting louder. And
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what makes like a Texas party different from like a Louisiana party?
well, honestly, I've never seen a Louisiana party. And then playing against LSU, I never really saw the energy. Actually, I think I played against them once, so really I can't.
There's no way you didn't see the energy. Really?
No, I swear.
What? Man.
How many times did I play against LSU?
Maybe
It had to be once. It was at LSU. I'll never forget. No, we did play a series. We did sweep y'all.
Okay.
So there really wasn't energy from y'all.
Well, I wasn't there.
Besides
so.
the guy, you know the guy that stands in the stands and he has,
The belt.
yeah, and a lot of other things, yeah. That is like the one thing I'll never forget
Why?
about LSU.
Why?
Because he's always there.
Yeah, he is.
He's always there.
Very.
Very energetic.
Very
guy.
supportive.
Yeah. And when he's right behind home plate at LSU, it's like, well, the stands are like the same level.
Yeah, as
The
on the field.
So
yeah.
he's like right there, like where the umpire is. Yeah.
Does that ever get distracting?
No.
Okay.
The stands don't normally distract me. It's like I'm in the dugout and just watching him. Like, how does...
What a time.
I'm like, how does he have all this time to
energy.
be here? You should make that a job for him.
What would you say is your favorite memory? But it could be pro ball and collegiate.
Marie?
Other than, playing at LSU. Hobby.
I'm trying to think. I've been able to spend my birthday at the World Series 3 times because my birthday is June 1st.
Are you a Gemini?
I am a Gemini.
We love a Gemini queen.
Yes, I am a Gemini. And so every time it's like I'm always there with the people that I spend every day with. So I haven't ever hated it. It's always been the best time. So like I was always grateful. So like my first year, actually I was here for my birthday. Just kidding.
If we're Geminis, we've spent my birthday's June 7th. We're always at a softball field.
I'm like, when was I not?
One birthday not at a softball field since I was 12. Maybe.
Yeah, I could say the same thing.
Yeah. Being born in June, gotta love it. You wouldn't say the Texas A&M series?
I would.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I don't think that was my favorite. It was my last season, so I mean, the emotion. It was like when they came back, I was like, oh my god. And then
Panic
when
attack.
we came back,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is nice.
A roller coaster.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that was my favorite part emotionally.
Yeah.
I would just say when we beat Arkansas too. When we beat Arkansas and they didn't have our hats to go to the World Series, we didn't get hats or a ticket to the World Series because I don't think they were convinced we were going to win.
Oh, wow.
So we got them later on. Yeah.
And that's your favorite?
Yeah. It's just
The
like
winning part.
Yeah, the winning part.
Yeah.
There was my pitcher, Haley Dulcini. She transferred from Fresno State whenever I transferred from Arizona. We were both mid-year. And literally her goal was like, I want to make it to the World Series no matter how much it takes. Like, we are going. And I think having her mindset and her on the mound, she literally threw until her arm fell off. And I think, like, being able to watch someone so passionate and willing and able until she was done, is someone that you always want to play behind. And so, like, seeing how happy she was to make it as far as we did, I think that's just a thought that you can never unsee.
Yeah. And some of my favorite memories when people ask, it's like never about myself.
Yeah.
It's always like about my teammates.
About other people.
Yeah. It's like, well, that one time Bianca Bell, that one time Savannah Jaquish. Yeah, but AJ, what's your favorite? Honestly, that's all I got for you. I did have a panic attack my senior year when I thought we were losing. That was fun. And I think those were like, you feel like you're gonna die, by the way.
Yeah.
If you ever had a panic, if you haven't had one before.
Just one.
Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah.
You don't wish that upon
0 out of
anybody.
10. Yeah. Don't recommend. Do not recommend. I know when you talk about going all in, using your body, it takes a lot of training for that. I know you train a lot, even off season, like when you're not even working towards softball. What is your training regimen, or how do you like to prepare for a season? Is there something you specifically do? No? Say it. Just say it. I knew it.
Sorry to all you young listeners.
So do you create your own workouts then?
No, actually, I loved the workouts that my college coach had prepared.
Okay.
So I kind of went back to her. I have been all over with I went and played in Mexico, so I just wanted to see live pitching, so I went out there. That's just so hard to find, I feel like. So, like, any opportunity you can to go somewhere and continue to play, I feel like that's the best type of training, is always staying in the game. Like, you can take as many reps as you can, but, like, seeing the ball off the bat in game and, like, that type of feeling, I feel like you can only find in game.
Yeah.
So being able to do that was very nice. Other than that, it's just, like, obviously throwing. Like, if you take time off of that, you're going to feel it. And then working on just little things within hitting and keeping that consistent. I feel like the longer you play, the more your body just knows how to play the game. So, like, again, just making it consistent, making it always feel good. And then workouts-wise, I just went back to my trainer in college and had her create some workout plans for me. I was also training for the fire department at one point, so it's definitely a different type of training like that. And then now I'm training for a fitness competition. So You
Hello.
know, I love fitness and health and stuff like that. So whatever my body can do to be the best and how far I can take it, like I'm gonna do that. So
When's your competition?
I'm trying to be in a high rocks competition at the end of the year. So probably I think it's in December.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Get
I'm not a
into
distance
it.
runner.
Yeah.
As I picked softball, so we gotta work on that a little
Working
bit.
into it.
Yeah.
Man, I imagine I actually don't want to imagine what that's like. But I love how in college sometimes we would dread going to those workouts.
Oh yeah.
And then now it's like, hey, can you make it for me?
Yeah.
Same thing,
You
please.
literally learn as soon as I was done with college and I went to Europe. I walked everywhere, and so like I was able to go to the gym like on and off. But like once you don't actually commit to working out every day the way you did in college, you soon realize how your body just does not look like that anymore.
Yeah.
So like you then learn to prioritize it and make time, at least like 30 minutes to an hour, or you start learning like what you enjoy. Like there's people that love yoga and Pilates. I've never done Pilates.
It's
but
hard.
People love it. So I might try. I've wanted to try it once, but I don't know that I would continue.
It's really good for, like, I've had surgery on my labrum in my hip. And so it's like, it's one of those things to really rebuild all that.
Yeah.
Like, those ladies in Pilates are strong.
I know.
I remember I went to my first one and I'm like, I present more physically fit than everybody in there.
Right.
And then there's this at least 70-year-old woman kicking she hasn't stopped. I've taken my 7th break. Like, it's this is what, that's Pilates.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
I don't want to. That's how I'm like with all these different workouts besides the ones that I did in college. I'm like, you understand that you were literally built for the one sport and like all your workouts were geared towards that, and like doing all these different things. You're like, yeah, I'm physically fit, but like not for that.
Not really. I remember because after I tore my labrum, they're like, yeah, I know your glutes are weak. I was like, have you seen my butt? No, they're not. And like, no, AJ, it's not this. Your maximus is not the same as all those other little things, all the other little muscles. So I learned very quickly. Yeah, we were training for strictly power, but as far as like longevity goes, and like endurance, yeah, it was not it.
I'm starting to learn that right now.
I'm proud to say that, at least I think, you know, my maximus and my medius and all the other idiuses are strong. I hope. I tried. I really tried. Bella, when you think about softball, your impact and what you've been able to do on the field, it all started with travel ball. Your 4 brothers. You talk about your dad. He's been super chill. My dad's also really chill. But we always have like we always have a car ride, the car ride home. Can you think of one car ride home that really sticks out from a softball tournament or softball game? No. Surprise, surprise.
I mean, my mom traveled with me a lot to like my games. So like, if you think about the crazy dads, she was the mom version. So it'd be like, you get in the car and she's like, what the hell was that?
It's like quiet, the like, walk up.
Did you mean to look that bad?
Because you actually had to do it on purpose to look the way you look.
It was like, as soon as you get in the car, it's like, so what did you think you did wrong? It's like, it's not the time for that.
Can I have an intermission, please?
Yeah. It was never anything like over the top, but I think like those questions just like immediately just triggered.
Yeah.
Too much.
So now as an adult, it doesn't, they don't come as much?
No.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
No. I mean, she would probably still ask the question today of like, so like, you look like shit. I'm like, thank you, Mom.
Yeah, right.
As if I didn't already know. Yeah. She's like, what were you swinging at? I'm like, did you want to try?
Yeah. I love the fan that does that. So you don't swing, it's like,
right.
Thank you, Brian. I meant to swing at that pitch over my head. That's actually was my plan, stepping up to the plate.
It was so funny at Arizona because a lot of the fans were older, like just like elderly couples. Yeah. And they would sit right behind home plate and do that exact thing.
Yes.
Like, what are you swinging at? Or why aren't you swinging at it? And it's just like right in your ear. I'm like, you know, You thought you'd be a little nicer.
To your own team. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's so true. Some people like hate it playing home because it could be rough playing home.
At Texas, it was never like that. But of course, when you go to the comment section.
Yeah, you just can't. I mean, I won't date myself, but like social media wasn't like that big of a thing when I was like. Okay, that makes me sound so old. It was a thing. It just wasn't. You weren't getting paid for it. I'll just put it there.
Yeah. It really wasn't either.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into my favorite segment, and as a fellow Audi, I hope it's yours too. The No Fly Zone segment. We're returning the outfield into No Fly Zone. Being an Audi and being amazing Audi that you are, you just made a diving catch right before you guys ended the first half of the season. What is your favorite play you've ever made?
I've made a lot just like in foul territory. I think like just those in general have been my favorite. I'm trying to think if I haven't really gotten the opportunity to make any on a fence because Texas fence is like 20 feet tall. So I would just say anything in foul territory. I made one where I actually slid into the wall. But it wasn't like a big game or anything like that. So it was kind of just like casual, I guess.
The dive.
Yeah.
Do you like head first, chest first, or do you like feet first?
I give myself whiplash.
With head first?
Yeah. I think I just like gravity just.
You just like land.
So I always figure 4 or
Okay.
something related.
Yeah.
It doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done.
It gets the job done. The ball is caught.
Yes.
That's all it says.
Yes.
It's an out. I feel like I've only done figure 4 maybe like once in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like I can't even remember the last time I dove.
It was a couple weeks ago.
That was a slide.
Oh yeah, it was a slide. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you left your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like diving on my chest, couldn't tell you.
I mean, it looks.
It would
cool.
have to be like in the gaps, but I don't really get those often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you start off going on your chest, or you started off going on your? Okay.
I did dive a lot. I don't even know when it became a only figure 4 thing. Couldn't tell you. A lot of people ask me like, how do you dive or how do you slide? I'm like, I don't think I've ever done a drill.
Really?
Like, like the mat where you like dive and you learn how to dive with like tennis balls or something. I've done that for diving. But figure 4, it's just like you slide into a base. So just catch it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever practiced that.
I guess maybe it's like the timing, because if you go too soon, obviously the ball isn't low.
Right.
Like, but that's.
Yeah, but they always say like if you're running in to figure 4, just because you have, your middle infielders working back.
Right.
So figure 4 that way, so it's safer. So I feel like all the balls that I've pretty much caught have always been in front,
going forward,
side to side. So it's just always been naturally figure 4 for me.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that makes sense.
You're a figure 4 pro.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Even though you don't know how you did it. Would you say when you go forward or when you do the figure 4, because I'm positive I probably only did it twice in my life. Is it harder though if the grass is like
Yes, it's
terrible?
Awful. There's a lot of times where you'll stick and then you'll get up and like that chunk of grasses. Yeah.
Have you ever tried it and you literally just went, nope, like you just didn't even go anywhere? Because
I'm trying to think of like what field that could be at. Sometimes Texas was like that. It was just dry. But most of the time, no. I think it was like, maybe it was like, was the grass grown out?
Yeah, I can see if it's really high, it would be hard to do.
I'm like, which one is it?
But I guess if you clear your feet, it's easy. In my mind, I'm thinking if you don't clear your feet, how you could just kind of stick.
It's that, like, you'll stick, but your cleat will stick into the grass. So, yeah, there was definitely times where that happened.
So best advice, doing the figure 4?
I think so.
Is what? What's your best advice to doing the figure 4?
Like how to do it?
Yeah, like you just say one thing
I
to
literally
do.
just say like you're sliding into a base.
Okay, just think about sliding into a base.
Yeah.
And make it happen.
Because people are like, what drills like would you do? And I guess I always say the mat one. Like you could try it on there. Or with littles, I tell them to do like the water slide.
Yeah.
Where you do it. But other than that,
Just
there's
clear
nothing.
feet. Yeah. And make the catch. Just make the catch. Turn a no-fly zone. Bella, we as softball players, failure is inevitable, but oftentimes failure is what leads us to our biggest successes. What is your favorite failure that has ultimately helped you become who you are today?
I mean, I think I literally fail every day on the field, so.
Well, can you dive deeper into that? I mean, you say you feel like you fail every day, but you still show up and you still perform. Like, how does that then still lead you to success?
Yeah, I mean, I was always that person that wasn't angry at like the world or the people around me. I was always angry at myself because I knew what I was capable of. So like a swing and miss was considered a failure to me. Like just as little as that was considered a failure because I knew how much better I was than that. And then I think like starting out in college, I was very inconsistent. So like there was games where, I would ball out and then it's like, how in the next game could I not, match that? So I think that, the inconsistency was considered a failure to me. So trying to, again, read situations and do stuff like that, like learning over and over again that like, yeah, those little things do happen, but what can I do to be more consistent? I'm like trying to think of, even in practice yesterday, trying to think of like what happened. I think I still look at everything situationally, but like even in the cages, there's things that still need to be fixed with my swing today. So a failure could be just like mechanically, why am I looking the way that I'm looking and why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? But again, I was always a person to be mad at myself and not take the advice and the criticism from other people as a learning curve and like, oh, this could help me. And today I do see it as that, as like people want to give me advice because they believe in what I'm capable of and how I am as an athlete. And so like being able to see that for myself, but also see that people are willing and able to do that for me, was very eye-opening to like these failures are going to make you better because you have people around you that want you to be better and are willing to help. So like, again, yeah, my swing and misses yesterday and like the way that I was working mechanically was a failure, but I got advice and I got help and I had people around me that cared and helped me in the moment. So realistically, that was a success for me, Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because I think so, like, to your point, like anytime like in the outfield, if I missed a ball, I had to miss that ball in order to catch that one ball in order to catch the next 30, right?
Yeah.
Because I had to fail in that moment, that swing and miss for you. I had to do that in order for me to get maybe that advice or for someone to say something to me that maybe they never would have said, a perspective to learn that maybe I never would have learned had I not swung and missed at that ball or had I not dove and missed for that one ball. So I think to your point, any failure, every failure can lead to something more or something better if you allow it.
Yeah.
Well, Bella, we've had a really fun conversation of yeses, of nos, of consistency, but most importantly, perseverance, and you talking about being able to persevere through whether it's failure, through being able to find yourself again, find the love, the happiness to remain present, and to know that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit, and show up every day, whether it's you repeatedly failing, because continually failing, you're only getting better and closer to your success. Thank you so much for dropping your diamonds.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll catch you guys next week back on the diamond with Dropping Diamonds.